Feeling blah, feeling blah. I know what you mean. There's a time in our lives, and we've all had these, where it seems like our get up and go must have got up and went. We just don't feel good. And today we're going to talk about why that happens. We have this beautiful energy flow, this aliveness, and then we just don't. Where did it go? Well, one of the things that we're going to think about is what is that energy flow? What is that part of you that is alive and awake? And then what happened to it? I've recently read a book by this doctor who's 103 years old. She wrote a book about the well-lived life. She's a 103-year-old doctor with 6 kids, and she calls this energy flow, she calls it the juice. And she talks about how she gets the juice from both her work and her time with her family and her kids. And I think that's pretty neat. And she's 103 years old, so she knows a thing or two. So what is this? What is this juice? And I like to refer to it as a river, an energy river that is flowing through you. Some people call it the life force. Also, like in Star Wars, they call it use the force. I think that's all talking about the same thing. It's this flow of energy and life and aliveness, and it connects us and engages us in our lives. And what is that connected to? Well, typically that's connected to your purpose. When I say purpose, if you're like most people, you got kind of a little tinge in your gut that didn't feel good, like a little ping that wasn't so pleasant. Like, what is my purpose? Wait, am I doing it? Do I need to get on it? I better get going with it. Well, the reason we do that is because we've gotten kind of confused about what purpose has to mean. And I hark back to a speech that was by Martin Luther King Jr. And he gave this speech, and it was about the drum major instinct. He's talking about how people like to have recognition. They like to be number one. They want to win. And that's the drum major instinct. He talks about how that drive for success, for being recognized, for being the best, he turns it on his ear, and he starts to talk about how that desire to kind of be number one is kind of this belief that that's what success looks like. And he says, okay, well, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can be number one, obviously. Not everyone could be a success in those terms. But he says everyone can be great. And the reason why everyone can be great is because everyone can be of service. Wow. I think that's brilliant. And I started to ask myself, okay, what opportunity is there to be of service in our lives? And as you start reflecting, you'll realize there's like a lot. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of people in our lives who would be very happy for us to show up and be of service. And as you start to listen to this, I am sure you can imagine a bunch of people in your world that could use something. Can you send somebody a card? Can you send somebody a I love you text or an I love you text? Can you help your mom pull that Christmas tree out of the garage? There might be something like that where someone in your life needs something from you. I mean, of course there is. And when you're doing that, we need to remember that you are fulfilling your purpose. So what is that purpose then? That purpose is to be able to use whatever gifts and talents and skills we've been given to help someone else. It's really a beautiful thing, and it's really the juice, I believe, comes from being able to do that. Some of us will have the privilege of doing work where we feel like, yeah, what I'm doing does matter to people, and it does help people in any way. That is a chance to reconnect with your juice. In addition to that, family time, any time where you're dedicating your energy, your life force to serve others, to connect with others, to be of service to the moment that's in front of you. So why are we getting blocked? Because all of us can do that. All of us can do something for other people, and we don't necessarily feel good all the time. We don't feel this flow running through us all the time. When somebody says, "How are you?" you might not just jump up and say, "I'm great. I'm alive. How about you?" We don't say that. So we're doing something different, aren't we? I'll tell you, there's three reasons why I believe that flow is getting blocked. All of life is moving. It's meant to move. It is here to move. It is going to keep moving whether you like it or not. Life is meant to move. And we have this river that is flowing through us in the way that I like to think of it, and it's getting blocked. I would say there's three blocks. They're all R words, make it easy to remember. So the first one is regret. We have regret. We regret that we did something wrong. Oh, can you believe it? You did something wrong. You made a mistake. So is it useful to look back on a mistake and maybe regret what we did and think, okay, I got it. I need to do something different next time. Well, sure, that's great. Definitely do that. But that's not all we do, is it? We don't stop there. We just agonize over it, what we did wrong. And we don't just go, okay, got it. I learned. Nope, we don't do that. We just torture ourselves over the things we did wrong. That regret is like taking a big block of energy and sticking it in a rock and putting that in the river. And now the river's blocked right there. If you've ever been by a river, or if you've ever been river rafting, or like me, floating around like a goofball on a tube, you know what those rocks are doing. So those rocks block the flow. The water just goes up over them, spews up in the air. It goes around them. It causes turmoil. It's a disturbance. That's what that rock is doing there. So there's your regrets, blocking the river. Then we have resentment. Ooh, resentment. It's one of the kind of worst things we can do to ourselves. So resentment is, I don't like the way something went. I don't like the way someone treated me. I don't like the way that happened. That should not have happened. And then we resent it. And wow, does this cause problems? Because that which already happened is reality. That's a good definition of reality. Something that already happened, that's what it is. That's real. So when we resent that, we're creating another block in the river. We're creating another block in the energy flow, and we start to feel run down, tired, exhausted, annoyed, irritated. That's resentment. Then we have resistance. I would say maybe this could be the worst one. So resistance is, I don't like what's happening, and so I'm going to try to use my will to stop it. I'm going to stand up there in my best warrior pose and just block it. I'm going to block this thing from coming. Even if I know it's coming. Even if I know it's going to rain on my birthday. I'm going to stand there and try to block it and wish and hope and check the weather and hope it doesn't happen. I'm going to try to get in the way of these things happening that I think are going to happen and I don't want. That's resistance. The Buddhists say that all of life is suffering, and that the reason for the suffering, the root of all suffering, is desire. Desire, and it's interesting, right? Because we think of desire as kind of a good thing, because you make your goals, you have your things you want to do because you have this desire. The Buddhists would say, not really, because what does that desire mean? It means you're desiring for things to not be how they are. It's the opposite of acceptance. It's going against all of life. It's saying, I resist. I resent that this has happened or that this could happen. And so I'm going to try to stop it with my will. What is that? Suffering. So now we've got three big rocks in the river. We've got regret, resentment, resistance. And now the river is not going to flow right. It's just not. And we start to feel run down and exhausted. So what do we do about this? The most important thing you can do is let go. Let go. Let go of the past. It's over. We have to learn to leave that behind us. And yes, I'm a psychologist. I know about trauma. I know about boundaries. I know about all the reasons why we work very, very hard to hold on to these things. I get it. Here's the thing though. If we want to be happy, if we want to be alive, if we want to live in our purpose and have that juice, have that river flowing, we got to let it go. How do we do this? Each day, we just really need to commit to being a letting go machine. Stuff comes up, let it come up. Feel the feelings, be aware of them, notice what you like, what you don't like. Okay, can I drop a little bit of those preferences? Can I just allow life to be life? Can I do that? And if I can, I'm going to start to feel better, and that river's going to start to flow. I will start to feel alive again, start to feel free again. I won't have to hold on so tightly to all these things. I don't have to be in control because there's nothing I'm trying to prove or do or resist. I just want to show up for this moment, do the best I can with it, and let the rest go. That is how to restore that river flowing and get us back to feeling good.